Hello sports fans, welcome to Super Sports Central. Today we're going to be rating the offseason for every NFL team so far. So going division by division, starting off with the Buffalo Bills, we're going to try to go through these quickly because we do have to get through all 32 teams. So I think they had a pretty good offseason so far. They brought in Von Miller, Daquan Jones, and O.J. Howard. They also got some good players, depth pieces. Good offseason so far. I'm going to give them an A. Next we have the Patriots. They did not bring back J.C. Jackson, who's arguably one of the best corners in the league. They did re-sign Devin McCourty and James White. Nothing that impressive. C+, argue a B-, but I'm going to give them a C+. Next up, we have our first A+, which is the Miami Dolphins. They added Connor Williams, Teron Armstead, and Tyreek Hill, while also signing Raheem Mostert, Chase Edmonds, and franchise tagging Mike Gesicki. Next, we have the Jets. They re-signed Braxton Berrios and Tevin Coleman, while signing guard Laken Tomlinson to the offensive line and upgrading the tight end position, adding Tyler Conklin and CJ Uzomah. I'm going to give them a solid B+. Next, we have the Baltimore Ravens. They kept Calais Campbell. They added safety Marcus Williams, and I'm going to give them a B. Next is the Steelers. They signed Mitch Trubisky. They helped the offensive line. They added Levi Wallace in the secondary. They're going to get a B-. You could argue for a B, but I'm going to give a B-. Next is the Bengals. They signed Alex Kappa, Ted Karras, and Wakel Collins to the offensive line, which needed desperate help. They also re-signed franchise tag Jesse Bates. An A for Cincinnati. Really good offseason so far. And I think it's just going to keep going forward. Next up, we have the Browns. They traded for Amari Cooper and Deshaun Watson. Great offseason. And they kept Baker Mayfield. And now, while he is unhappy with the Browns, if Watson does get suspended, they do have a capable quarterback as a backup in Baker Mayfield right now. They did lose several players: Jarvis Landry, Rashad Higgins, several others. But the positives outweigh the negatives. Browns get a B+. Next up, we have the Jaguars. They had a decent offseason. They franchise tagged Cam Robinson, signed Brandon Sheriff, got Foyesade Ulukun, Christian Kirk, although possibly an overpay. They also got Evan Ingram. They did lose wide receiver DJ Chark and linebacker Miles Jack, but overall they had a pretty good offseason. So far, B+. Next up, we have the Tennessee Titans. They cut Julio Jones. He's really just it pains everyone to say this, but he's gotten older and he's slowed down a lot, and just injuries have caught up to him. They extended Harold Landry. They traded for Robert Woods, and they also signed Austin Hooper. I'm going to give them a B so far. Next up, we have the Texans. They were able to trade Deshaun Watson, so that is a big win for them. They did lose Justin Reed, but they also signed Andrew Kahn. I'm going to give them a C. Next up, we have the Colts. They upgraded the quarterback position, going from Carson Wentz to Matt Ryan. They also got Yannick Ngakoue and signed Stephon Gilmore. I'm going to give him a B+. Next up, we have the Chiefs. They traded away Tyreek Hill, lost Tyrann Mathieu, Chardarius Ward, Melvin Ingram, Byron Pringle, and Demarcus Robinson. They did sign Justin Reed and Juju Smith-Schuster, but I think for the Chiefs, the negatives outweigh the positives. I'm going to give them a C. Next, we have the Chargers. They had an elite offseason, A+. They extended Mike Williams, signed J.C. Jackson and Gerald Everett. They added defensive tackles to help the atrocious run defense in Sebastian Joseph Day, and they also signed Austin Johnson. And finally, they traded for dominant pass rusher Khalil Mack to go alongside of Joey Bosa. And I think I mentioned they signed J.C. Jackson. So A+ for the Chargers. Next, we have the Raiders. They got two big-name players in Devontae Adams, Derek Carr's former college teammate, and Chandler Jones. I'm going to give them a B+. Next, we have the Broncos. They got their franchise quarterback in Russell Wilson. They also signed Randy Gregory. They did give up a lot in the Russell Wilson trade, including Noah Fant, and a first-round pick this year. But that's basically what's expected when you're getting a player the caliber of Russell Wilson. I'm going to give them a B. On to the NFC, we have the Giants. They added two players to the offensive line. I expect more activity in the draft. Right now, a C+. The Cowboys are next up on our list. They could not bring back Randy Gregory. They lost Cedric Wilson, Connor Williams, Leo Collins, and Amari Cooper. Not a great offseason, but they were able to bring back Dalton Schultz, Leighton Vander Esch, and Michael Gallup. I'm going to give them a B-. Next, we have the Eagles. I'm going to give them a B. They got their much-needed pass rusher in Hassan Reddick, while also bringing back run stopper Fletcher Cox. The next team is the Commanders. They traded for Carson Wentz, signed guard Andrew Norwell, and re-signed running back J.D. McKissick, who is an elite pass catcher. I'm going to give them a C+. Next, we have the Packers. They lost Darius Smith because they had to release him due to cap space problems. They traded away Devontae Adams. They were able to bring back all-pro linebacker Devondre Campbell. C+. Next up, we have the Vikings. They were able to get Darius Smith from the Packers. That's really their only good thing. They lost Patrick Peterson, Mackenzie Alexander, Anthony Barr. C+. Next is the Lions. They signed wide receiver DJ Chark to help whoever the quarterback is there. And I think it's only going to help in the draft. Next, we have the Bears. Not a great offseason. Didn't sign any big-name players. They lost lots of players such as Allen Robinson, Khalil Mack, several others. C-. Next, we have the Saints. They re-signed Jameis Winston after missing out on Deshaun Watson. They signed Marcus May to replace Marcus Williams. Yes, it is a downgrade, but it's something. And they also lost left tackle Teron Armstead. I'm going to give them a C+ for at least doing stuff to address the quarterback position and replace Marcus Williams. You could argue a B-, but I'm going to give them a C+. Next up, we have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They were able to get back Tom Brady after he decided he was not going to retire. They did lose 2 offensive linemen. They were able to bring back Ryan Jensen, who's their center. They re-signed Chris Godwin, Carlton Davis, and Leonard Fournette. Pretty good offseason. I'm going to give them an A. Next, we have the Falcons. They traded away Matt Ryan. They signed Marcus Mariota to replace him. They also re-signed Cordero Patterson. I'm going to give them a B-. Next up, we have a team that had one of the worst offseasons, and that is the Carolina Panthers. They didn't get any big-name players. I'm going to give them a D. Or a D+, sorry. Next, we have the Seahawks. They entered rebuild mode by trading away Russell Wilson. They did get some draft picks and Noah Fant. They also have Drew Lock. Wasn't horrible. I'm going to give them a C+. Next, we have the Rams. They get an A. They traded away Robert Woods, but they replaced him with Allen Robinson. They lost Von Miller, but then they got Bobby Wagner. They just keep doing good things. I'm going to give them an A. Next, we have the 49ers. They lost guard Laken Tomlinson and Raheem Mostert. But they have so many running backs that are so good. Losing Mostert isn't even bad, especially because you could make the argument, oh, the guy's so fast. Yeah, but he's never on the field. I think my B+ grade I'm giving them could be higher if they traded away Jimmy Garoppolo. I want them to make it clear that Trey Lance is the future of that team. And the last team is the Arizona Cardinals. They lost Christian Kirk and Chandler Jones, but was able to bring back James Conner and Zach Ertz. They're going to get a B+. So those are my grades so far in the offseason. After the draft, we're going to do another video just like this. Then we're also going to do grading every first-round pick, grading every team's NFL draft, all that stuff. Mock draft coming up later in the week. So that's all for this video. Thank you for watching. I do my best to post as often as possible. So like, subscribe, comment, and I will see you in the next video.